Season's greetings! Andrew with Evermore Studio here with a quick video on making my 180-degree open abstract snowflake pop-up cards for the 2020 holiday season. I designed this originally in 2002. Access to a laser cutter was harder to come by back then. I had something lined up for production, but did almost all of the original prototyping in advance. I wasn't sure this particular design was going to work, so I had this alternate design ready to go. When it came to cutting the cards, this design took a lot longer to run, and the smoke deposition on the card didn't look great. So I went with the other design. I always intended to produce this design. Now that I have a laser in the studio, it seemed like a good time to do that. The 2020 version is two-sided. I used my favorite ice gold stock, which gets me pale metallic gold lines when I score or engrave. My original thought had been to glue the bits cut from the snowflakes back down into their shadows on the base. That's way too much work for more than one card, but I scored the shadows to match. Exact alignment of the score lines isn't as critical on this design as it is in some cases. I was able to use a jig-in-place technique for aligning the two sides. I did the shadow engraves, the score lines for the snowflakes, and cut the outlines of the cards. Then I flipped the cards, placing them back into the holes from which they were cut. When I ran the engraves, scores, and cuts for the second side, I knew they would line up to within a millimeter or so. For most of the cards, I had to poke out at least some of the tiny little cutout bits. Using the mat generally helps with that. It's a trade-off. I used my favorite dry transfer adhesive to glue these up. It's great for getting good, even application around cutouts where you don't want any excess adhesive. I used the release paper to protect my surface while I burnished to transfer the adhesive to the card, and while I burnished to ensure even adhesion of the surfaces. The adhesive is essentially little specks of glue. They can get on your hands and tools and end up on surfaces where you don't want them. Rubbing generally just smears them around, making a mess. Fortunately, I have a secret weapon here. This glue eraser takes stray glue bits right off without harming the surface at all. was quite a run. I hope everyone enjoyed the cards and the video. Remember to click like and subscribe if you want to encourage me to make more videos like this. Thank you for watching.